Shortly after hearing about real estate syndications and learning how simple it is to generate passive income, you might start wondering, okay, but what about taxes? We are so glad you're watching right now, because you're about to see how easy it really is to reap the rewards of the tax benefits associated with real estate syndications. Taxes aren't exciting, are they? Well, maybe after this video, you'll think they are. When you invest in a real estate syndication, the first thing to know is that every year you will get what's called a Schedule K-1 for your taxes. This comes typically in the spring, end of March-ish. Basically, a K-1 statement reports your income/losses for that real estate syndication investment. Now, one of the biggest benefits to investing in real estate is that you can write off the expenses. In commercial real estate, which are these real estate syndications I've been sharing about, you have two main benefits, which include depreciation and cost segregation. If you own your own home, you're probably familiar with depreciation, which means you can write off the value of the asset over time. In residential real estate, that's 27.5 years. If you buy a home, you can write it off little by little, every year for 27.5 years. The depreciation schedule for commercial real estate is a little bit longer, at 39 years. If you remember, however, we don't hold these syndications for 39 years. We only hold for, let's say, 5 years or 7 years. If we only took the depreciation for 5 years out of that 39 years, we'd be leaving 34 years worth of depreciation benefits on the table. That's where accelerated depreciation and cost segregation come into play. What cost segregation means is that when we buy these commercial buildings, we'll have a cost segregation specialist come out and look around the property. They will create a report, and they'll say, well, that lighting fixture, instead of 39 years, you can write that off on 10 years. Those carpets, you can write those off on a schedule of 5 years, and so on and so forth. Suddenly, we have a schedule that allows us to write all of these different pieces off on a much shorter timeline. That increases the amount in write-offs that we can take up front during those first 5 years. That's a portion of what the sponsors are handling in the background, and you will see those losses reflected in your K-1s each spring. We think one of the coolest parts about investing in syndications is the cash flow returns every month or quarter. But when you get your K-1 in the spring, it won't show that you made money. It'll actually show that you lost money because of all these depreciation and cost segregation benefits, while you are actually cashing checks and you have money coming in. On paper, it looks like you're actually losing money. Now, we know this can be confusing, but for tax purposes, it's a really good thing. That means that you are likely not going to have to pay any taxes on that cash flow income. Now, as for the rest of the losses, because sometimes those losses can be quite substantial, you'll have to talk to your own CPA about how that applies to your own tax situation and how much of those losses you can actually apply, if any, to your ordinary income. We want to make sure you hear this. It's likely your ongoing cash flow will not be tax-free, but tax-deferred. You may not have to pay taxes on it right now, but when the asset is sold at the end of those, say, 5 years, there will be a depreciation recapture, and you will have to pay taxes on the gains. Again, your CPA is your best friend here. Talk to your CPA about how this will apply to your personal tax situation, because your tax situation and my tax situation are going to be different. All in all, that's what you can expect when investing in a real estate syndication. A K-1 each spring, and paper losses throughout the life cycle of the project. A lot of big financial decisions take place through the process of finding a syndication investment deal. So, if you've invested in a syndication, what were some of the biggest tax benefits you found from the investment? And if you haven't yet invested in a syndication, what's holding you back? We can't wait to read your comments. If you're interested in learning how investing in real estate syndications can help you achieve financial freedom and live the life you've always wanted, I'm personally inviting you to join the FinCapital Investor Club today. You'll find the link down below in the description. In closing, give this video a thumbs up and make sure you're subscribed here so you get notified when we post the next one. Do you have a friend who needs to hear this? Share with them. See you next time.